The Rams just got the kind of injury news every fan has been waiting for. Plus, we finally know how the coaching staff fixed Jermaine Forbes' rough start. And Week 12 gave us a crystal clear look at who's trending up and who's holding this team back. This is a full breakdown you don't want to miss. Welcome back to the channel. If you're here for real Rams analysis, not fluff, hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss an update. Today, we're digging into the latest roster news, what's changed behind the scenes, and which players deserve the spotlight after a huge Week 12 performance. Let's jump in. The biggest headline of the week is the positive injury update for several key starters. For the first time in a long stretch, the Rams are finally seeing pieces trend toward healthy rather than toward the injury report. The most encouraging news comes from the offensive side of the ball, where multiple players who were limited last week are now practicing with noticeably more movement and confidence. This is massive for a team that has relied heavily on depth pieces for much of the season. Getting reinforcements back now, right as the playoff picture starts sharpening, can shift momentum in a hurry. But it's not just the offensive unit that's feeling some relief. On defense, the staff is optimistic about one particular starter returning sooner than expected, a player whose absence was felt in both communication and physicality. The Rams scheme works best when everyone is aligned mentally, and having experienced contributors re-enter the lineup is an underrated advantage. It's the kind of update that doesn't just change matchups, it changes the tone of the entire week. And speaking of changing tones, it's time to talk about Jermaine Forbes and how the Rams quietly fixed one of the most concerning early season storylines. When the year began, Forbes looked overwhelmed. The traits were there, but the timing, confidence, and processing speed weren't. Opposing offenses targeted him relentlessly, and it was clear the coaching staff needed to intervene. What they did wasn't magic, it was smart, targeted development. The Rams simplified his responsibilities early. They shifted him into more zone reps to help with vision and reaction rather than isolating him exclusively on man coverage. They also emphasized footwork discipline, getting rid of the wasted steps that caused him to lose receivers out of breaks. Most importantly, they rebuilt his confidence by letting him play aggressive, not scared. They told him to trust his instincts, to challenge at the catch point, and to rely on his length. Since then, he's been a completely different player. This is the version of Forbes the Rams drafted: long, physical, smart, patient, and capable of erasing windows. What looked like a liability has turned into a steady, ascending young piece in the secondary. Now let's break down the Week 12 winners and losers, starting with the players who absolutely elevated this team. The first big winner is the Rams' offensive line. This group has been up and down all year, but in Week 12 they delivered one of their most complete performances. Clean pockets, controlled leverage, and sustained blocks in the run game. They allowed the offense to maintain balance, and you could see how much smoother the play calling became when pressure wasn't constantly crashing down. Another clear winner is the Rams' pass rush. The young guys flashed, the veterans executed, and the unit as a whole played fast. They created disruption without sacrificing gap integrity, which has been a problem at times this season. When the Rams get that blend of discipline and explosiveness, the defense becomes very tough to manage. Offensively, one of the standout winners was the receiver group, especially those stepping into expanded roles. They attacked leverage, created separation, and caught the ball cleanly. Even the small details, route tempo, timing with Stafford, yards after catch, looked refined. It's a sign that the chemistry is finally syncing across the board. But not everyone lands in the winners column, and it's important to be honest about that. One of the Week 12 losers was the tackling discipline on defense. Even though the unit played well overall, there were still too many snaps where the initial defender failed to wrap, turning manageable gains into chain-moving plays. It didn't cost them the game, but against stronger opponents, it absolutely can. Another loser has to be special teams inconsistency. Whether it's coverage breakdowns or hesitation on returns, the Rams are still giving away free field position, and those hidden yards add up quickly. This is an area that needs immediate tightening before it becomes a late-season liability. And while it's tough to call any player a loser, some of the depth defenders struggled with communication and spacing in coverage, particularly on improvised plays where the scramble drill rules weren't followed cleanly. It's a reminder that while the starters are improving, the depth pieces still need reps and refinement. So what does all of this mean going forward? The positive injury news signals momentum. The Forbes turnaround proves the coaching staff continues to excel at developing young talent, turning early season concerns into long-term strengths. And the Week 12 breakdown shows that the Rams are trending in the right direction while still identifying the areas that require sharper discipline. This is a team building at the right time. Not perfect, not complete, but ascending. And in the NFL, that matters more than anything else in late November, which direction your arrow is pointing. Right now, the Rams' arrow is pointing up. As we head into the next matchup, keep an eye on how the returning players reintegrate, how Forbes continues to develop, and whether the Rams can clean up those small but important details on special teams and tackling. If they do, this team is going to surprise a lot of people down the stretch. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more Rams analysis every single week. Stay locked in, stay sharp, and I'll see you in the next one.